So I'm going to call this meeting to order. Pursuant to the Illinois Attorney General's guidance to public bodies on the Open Meetings Act during the COVID-19 pandemic, dated July 2nd, 2020, county board members may participate without being physically present in compliance with the established provisions. Can we have a roll call, please?
Member Desart.
Here.
Member Garcia.
Here.
Member Hart. Member LaPlante.
Here.
Member Rutledge. Here. Member Salmon. Here.
Great. Okay, I move to approve the minutes from our Ad Hoc Fine Arts Committee, the regular meeting held on Wednesday, July 7th, 2021.
So moved. Madam Chair, there were no minutes in the board packet, so I'm not sure we can vote on these because they weren't in the board packet.
Yeah, they were. Member.
Well, they weren't. This is from Sally Carner, sent out Thursday. The Ad Hoc Fine Arts Committee was just the agenda.
The packet is posted online publicly for you to access.
Were you able to hear that? Member Selman said the minutes and the agenda are published online for you to access publicly.
Carry on.
Member Desart. So did we have a second? I think it was. Okay.
Yeah.
Moved in a second. Okay. Can we have the roll call, please? Oh, sorry. Just voice vote. Great. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Great. That motion passes. Do we have any public comments today?
We do not.
Okay. Thank you very much. That brings us to a tour of the fairgrounds. So we can all get up and go, and Jim is going to assign us golf carts, and we're going to go around.
Do that.
Yes.
Can we take a quick look at the layout that we first looked at, or is that just not relevant anymore? I like that visual.
If I do have it,
All
we
right,
can do
well,
that.
and it's not huge if you don't, but
I can pull it up on
I'm
mine.
a visual.
This was the initial kind of
There you go.
that was the very early on, kind of a dreamscape of it. And then this layout is the secondary one that shows the stage location.
Thank you.
While we're waiting, I got one more golf cart coming up because we had some additional people join us, so I ordered up another golf cart. They're going to bring
Okay.
that up here in a moment. This particular building here, this is building number 5. This building is an air-conditioned space. What's nice about this space, it's got windows opening that look out over the entire lower half of the fairgrounds, the festival area. So this is a space that could be used during this event as a location for staffing, for leadership or whatever, to have a breakout space, you know, to be able to come up here planning. If you have any VIP stuff that you want to do, that could happen up in this particular room. So like I said, there's new units getting put on the back of this building right now. Unfortunately, not hooked up yet. They're almost hooked up for the heating and air conditioning. So this building is in the process. We added a couple new doors. Those will be trimmed out by that time. I noticed just when I came in, we have a broken window. That will be repaired by that time. But this building would be available for that type of a use for this event. When we go down today, we are in the process of setting up for an event that's this weekend. We have Eid Fest. So I have two events this weekend. We have both the 4-H fair. So this is actually Fair Week. Much quieter around here than our traditional week coming in. But we do have the 4-H group coming in on Saturday. They'll be showing their animals so the kids can qualify for state fair. This building will actually turn into the 4-H building, and they will have all their projects, science project, woodworking, all those types of things that they can win the blue ribbons and qualify to go to the state fair. So we're still doing that portion here at the fairgrounds. But what's going on down below is called Eid Fest. Today is the celebration of Eid, and it starts up on Friday evening here. We've had this the second time we've had this event. It's a very good family-friendly event. There's a lot of commercial vendors that'll be here, food vendors. They'll have some kids' play areas that'll be going on, and then they have the carnival, which is going to be very obvious when we start heading down the hill. But it's a 3-day event, very well attended on Saturday. I would say we'll have 5,000 plus people on ground on Saturday. The other days were somewhere around 2,000 people, Friday evening, and then on Sunday it slows down a little bit. But Saturday is the big day of the event. We'll see what this happens with us coming out of COVID right now. But that's what you're going to see going on down below. So we'll kind of stop in a couple different spots and just talk about our kind of plan. I was kind of hoping the tents would be up so you guys could actually see some of the tents in place. Those are actually coming up tomorrow. So if anyone wants to stop back Thursday, you will see tents set up down there and kind of give you a better look of how these tents will look and where we can place them for the Fine Arts Festival. So a couple of things we're going to stop at. The first one is going to be a stage that we're calling the beer tent stage, just because that's where we traditionally have our beer tent for the fair. That's why we're calling it that, but it's kind of for different performances that we have ideas for that could happen there. Then we have the horseshoe, and in the horseshoe, that's where the artists will actually be displaying their items in the stalls. And depending upon how that breaks out, we'll have that spacing for them. And we'll have a stage in there, which will be an entertainment stage. So we'll have a variety of entertainment in there that will be pulling people in so that they can visit the artist and see the displays and see what's for sale and hopefully make some purchases for those artists so they have a successful event. And then the third stage we're having is the main event stage, which is going to be on the big open lawn alongside our butterfly garden. In the last 4 to 5 years, we've been doing a lot of work down there trying to change the look of that and create an event center in that area. We've added a couple community gardens. You'll see in the big grandstand area. It's a little late in the ground, but it's coming. There's a big community garden, and we have 2 other ones that are full of tomato plants and lettuce and chard and different things like that, peppers. Last year, we supplied produce to 6 different food pantries throughout the area. And we're going to be doing that again this year. And you'll see our front yard. The first sunflower has popped in the front yard. And up there, we have a bunch of vegetables and stuff that are coming too. Every plant around the ground has edible. And that's where we harvest and we deliver that stuff. So just a kind of a footprint. That cart should be arriving any
No
moment.
worries.
And
no
then we'll
worries.
jump on and we'll take a ride down below. You'll see a lot of sunflowers that are popped already. There's a lot more. We've planted them in stages strategically, so they'll be coming throughout. And we should have a couple of good patches actually that are hitting right at the time of this event, if we hit it right. So we'll see how it all comes out. But our focus is to lift that ground area down there and bring more events and more activity, such as the Fine Arts Festival. Today I picked up a couple truckloads of plants from Cantini. We have a nice partnership with them, so they help us with a lot of our flowers throughout the year. So we got a bunch to freshen up for this weekend's event. So all of our flower pots and everything over the next couple of days, some of our garden areas will be refreshed with that. And that it helps us quite a bit and it makes the ground look a whole lot better. So we could probably head out. We'll get on the carts and we'll start heading down the hill. This way behind, this is a student art contest we do in conjunction with the fair. And we have awarded close to $70,000 in scholarships over 4 years to high school student artists throughout DuPage County. All over, all the high schools have participated. So this is some of the displays of what the kids have produced, which is another part that we would like to hopefully have a little part of this to bring that into this event as well. It might be tough timing wise because kids coming in and out of school, but it's been a cool program for us. And like I said, $70,000 in benefit to local area high school students.
So
And Debbie
please,
was a judge one of our years here. Helped us out judging some of this stuff.
please go and take a look closer. I mean, the quality is fantastic, and this is a wonderful opportunity to help provide, you know, we're talking about that, like to put more into the scholarship coffers for art students in DuPage. Okay, so now I'm recalling the meeting. We're now picking up where we left. We don't have to do anything like that. Okay, so we're just picking back up. Here we are.
Then,
Yes,
you have another
sir.
agenda?
Oh, yes, here, you can take mine. I have 2.
Oh, who got it?
Oh, Sally's got one. Okay, here you are. Yes, 2 more, actually 3 more, please. Or do you have, we have enough.
Yes.
Okay,
That's
and that's
exactly
for
what happened.
Amy. Okay, oh,
Let me get one
wonderful.
more,
We've
'cause
got,
mine blew away. That's probably
okay,
what
you need
got.
one too.
We wouldn't be happy about it.
Yeah.
Good thing.
Sheila sitting there.
Okay, so now let's pick back up where we just were, and we're gonna go back, and now we're gonna discuss this. So we're on Chairwoman's remarks. So you saw everything. I'm so glad you guys get to put now, actually something you saw and walked through to all these ideas that we've been talking about. We want to let you know some of the acts that we've already lined up and booked. And then once we get a consensus, a show of hands, then Jim is going to start signing those contracts this afternoon. So we've got the Ides of March. That's Jim Peterick's group. Yes, everyone, he's a big old crowd pleaser. Everyone loves him. And he draws a huge crowd. He has a very, very big following. We have Muriel Anderson. She is originally from Downers Grove and now lives on the East Coast, but has a really, she puts a lot of everything from DuPage County into her work. And Terry, you told me about her, and she has just won the national picking contest and the first woman, correct?
So that was a long time ago.
Oh, but
Yeah.
that's what her, that's how,
Chad finger picking contest.
and that's what sort of
Yeah.
launched her
Launched her.
nationally.
Yeah.
And she's going to do a beautiful audiovisual performance. So there's going to be a screen behind her at dusk on Sunday.
Starting up.
Yeah. And let's see, we also have the Chicago Cats, which is a really big rhythm and blues band, and they're going to be performing. We've got, let's see, who other of those? Oh, and then Son Monarques, which means it's about an educational group where they do traditional Mexican folklore music, like sort of a Latin fusion music. They also have an arm that does education. And so they're going to be in native Aztec dance, and they're going to be bringing dancers to teach people how to dance to their music. And they are an accredited CPS vendor, like where they go into all the classrooms. So they have a really strong educational arm. So a show of hands that we can go ahead and sign those contracts today with the board. Great. Wonderful. That passes. So that's what Jim is going to work on this afternoon. We also have lots of other groups that we have coming in, and we're collecting their contracts. And so I'm just going to be giving you guys updates pretty much weekly, for sure, bi-weekly, of all the different acts that we're securing. So we're already working out who's on what stage and when. We are also talking about having Friday night be our VIP sponsor night. So we're going to have that be private, to kick off the whole festival. We're going to go basically 11 to 11 on Saturday. Sunday looks 11 to maybe, what did we say, 7? Yep, 7 or 8. And Friday night, we're going to kick it off by thanking our sponsors, our VIP donors, and we'll have live performance entertainment. But this is a wonderful way to kick off the whole festival, and then also expect, hopefully really dense crowds Saturday and Sunday. We're working on sponsorship now, taking tons of meetings. Member Chavez, the chair Chavez from Economic Development, has been working very closely with me. We're meeting with lots of different community partners and individuals. So we're going to have more to report on that as well. So let's go back to questions or comments, or to discuss further what everyone saw today. Does everyone save some of their questions? Member Selman.
Are we still considering the restaurant certificate? And if so, where would that have been?
So we are still considering it. What we have found is, we knew, obviously, everyone knows how hard the restaurant industry has been hit. And those farm to table restaurants love the idea, and they say, please, 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 can we do it next year? But we're having trouble with staffing, which is what everyone's running into. We still, Greg Bedeloff from Choose DuPage is talking to some bigger names, being, restaurants and chefs.
Okay.
So we're still looking into it.
But if not, it'll be a good idea for like the second.
100%, yes. But we're still hopeful. We haven't said no to that yet, and we're still working with, these farm to table groups. Jim, do you want to explain where that would be?
2 different options where we could put that. You could actually set it up out in the middle of the butterfly garden area and have that as the dinner area. And then that could become another additional eating area from those food trucks. instead of just the picnic tables out there. So that tent area could become another tent that we could use for that purpose too. People could gather under there for the concert. We get a sunny day. A lot of folks like to be out in the shade, so that could become used there. Or we can actually bring it to that area I pointed out as the prayer area. That's a big enough lawn section, and we have the water. We have all the necessity there for putting the kitchen together. Electric, everything's there.
Great question. Anyone else? Oh, yes, Vice Chair.
Thank you.
Yes.
Sure. So if we can't, if we can't get that farm to table restaurant, would you consider doing like a heavy hors d'oeuvre, a lot of mingle? But staff-wise would be less?
You mean for Saturday and Sunday?
No, Friday night.
Oh, Friday night for sure we're doing that. Sorry, absolutely. That's part of the VIP experience would be cocktails and
No,
order.
rather than a dinner. So it would just be heavy hors d'oeuvres.
That's what we're doing Friday night.
Never mind.
Yes, that's exactly it.
Brilliant
Yes,
idea.
thank you. I'm so glad you love it. Yes, that was for Friday.
Okay.
Yes. Yes, did you have a question?
No.
Oh, it looks like, okay. Anyone else?
So I'm
Um,
looking at,
hi.
oh, I'm sorry. I'm looking at the artist booth. So
Uh-huh.
like between each pole then would be one space and it's probably like 8 inches or 8 feet
8
maybe.
feet, it's 8 foot. by-
So, yeah, and then they would be able to go back
All the way
and
back.
have an alleyway. So that's good. And then they would need to indicate if they can provide their own portable walls or if they need to. Is that kind of what we're looking at?
We're trying to design, we have some stuff, I gotta see how much I can divide it.
Okay.
And so some people have their own, that's helpful to know, but some people want to use their own stuff.
Yeah. they prefer-
They prefer it because the way they hang their stuff, that's what I saw.
Yeah.
But we would also be able to provide some that we currently use.
I
to
think that
display
might be, and we can talk about this later,
Yeah.
question on the application.
Okay.
Do you need the
Yeah.
walls? But
Yeah.
I think that's a great space because it's visible.
Right?
I was thinking it was enclosed. I was thinking it was like this. so
No.
people could walk by and it's like, people will see it.
Yeah.
Yes,
So I
that's
think
what we were
that's- yeah.
trying to explain. Yes,
Yeah.
it's gonna, and we're gonna draw people in there with the
With the-
stage. So it's gonna be
Because
fantastic for
I've
them.
been reaching out to some artist groups and there is a hesitancy because they say, well, have you ever exhibited at a festival before? And I'm like, "Well, no." And they said, well, people come for the festival activities and they kind of overlook the artists. So we need to really put that in
Mhm.
to the language that it will have that, that.
Be right
it will
on
be-
the edge
yeah.
of.
It's in the heart of the whole festival.
Yeah.
It can't be any more prime. So I think, we can probably include a photo that would help so
Yeah,
that they
that would
can
help.
see it.
Mhm.
But I mean, that's the message, is that these are the most prime locations of the whole festival. I think it's perfect.
Well, and I think if we indicate on there that the entrances are there and the lift, like
Yeah.
it's impossible for you
To
to miss it.
miss.
I think like,
Yeah.
so if we do a map like that,
Totally.
we indicate that you can't miss it.
Right,
I think that's
right.
a great point.
Yes.
Just a little clarification of that area with the artists. Is there music going to be there?
Mhm.
Yes.
That's the stage. Remember, there's going to be
Right,
a
that's what I'm
stage in
trying to
there.
think. Okay,
Yeah.
so there's
Entertainment stage at the
Yeah.
north end.
there is an entertainment stage, so people would be coming there to see entertainment and then walking around and seeing the artists.
Yep.
correct? And then the second question I had, and then sorry, then I'll let
No,
you
no,
go,
no.
is security. Now, I'm sure none of these people want to take their stuff down at night. You know,
We have
what's-
overnight security that'll be here on ground.
You have overnight security.
Mhm.
Fantastic. Okay, great.
We
Thank you.
need to mention that. Now, another concern, is, it's not nonstop music going on. Because we had talked about having the artist exhibit from maybe 11 to 7, and then the main stage would be after that. Is that true? Or
No, there's going to be performances going on all day.
Because here's another concern, like the music is so loud that they will not be able to
Right.
conduct business. They won't be able to talk to the people who are,
The soundboard people who are in there, they control that,
okay,
and they can control that and
Okay.
keep it to a level, and that's easily done. It's
Perfect.
easily done.
perfect.
You have, that's why you want professional sound people.
Mhm.
There are certain bands that think if you knock
Louder
people
than-
over, that they sound better. And I don't agree with that.
No,
But
none of us do.
Trust me,
None
I've
of
had
us.
many of those events here, and it's like, well, the people got to hear us. Well, you can't even be in the building with them.
Right.
And we've had that, and so you want a professional sound person, and you explain to them ahead of time the purpose and the function, and they control of that.
Okay,
Yeah, and we're
Make
not
it so it's
having the
comfortable.
loud those are the headliners that are in
At
the
night.
evening.
After-
Like
after
there's
the
going
artists
to
go.
be a stage, on that stage might be the string program. So it's going to be a stage full of violinists. So it won't be
Good
Right.
shopping.
totally,
Yeah,
it's-
right.
yes, I think it's a wonderful synergy. Yes, yeah.
Sorry, so are there any more concerns like that that you've heard that maybe we didn't address today?
Well, I will find out as I call, more of the people.
I think that's a good idea for us to think about for the map. I think that's a brilliant idea. Now that I've seen it, it's very easily.
Mhm, right, yeah.
So any of those sorts of tidbits, I think are super helpful for us to give you materials you need to build.
Right, I
Right.
need to sell them, because I know if you go to the Riverwalk Fine Art Fair, it's a destination, you're going there to buy art. And I think in this case, people are gonna stumble upon the art, so it's not like, they're not saying, oh, I'm going to see this artist, they're coming to see the whole festival. So
Correct.
we have to make sure that the artwork is accessible, that it's, the price point that they can afford, because they're not gonna come here and buy a $3,000 wheel. So, but it's.
You know what? Let's not limit anything. So please don't limit
All
anything.
right.
We're doing
I've
our-
been running an art fair for 20 years. I know. So, but I do think that there are plenty of artists in DuPage County with very high quality work that we can
Right.
bring in.
So, great. So moving on, if people have concerns like that, please do email. We're going to keep a list. We can answer all of these questions. There's a lot of moving parts, but we've got a great handle on it. And that's why, just to formally introduce Mark Ingram, he is going to be handling all of the musical performances. So we are going to be keeping lots of eyes on all the moving parts. And so we have experts doing that. Jim has been doing this for forever,
Oh, I
and he knows how to do this. Yes, Jim.
What I suggest, and when I talk to you about coming and seeing those boards, maybe what I'll do is I'll set up just a display. I'll throw some of the artwork on there. We can Take a
Perfect.
photo of that. So we can
Perfect.
show
That's a
our.
great idea.
Perfect,
So
yeah.
we can- We have plenty of the student artwork that we can hang in one of those spaces. We can
Yeah.
take a photo. We can use that as part of our marketing.
Okay.
Jim, I have
So-
several easels.
Okay.
Oh, and just quick while we're on that topic, you also have tables and chairs for
Correct.
those. So just make
Yep.
sure that they know that.
They
we can-
understand that and they need them.
Mhm, Yep, yeah. So he'll be able to provide that.
And black tablecloths.
Yep.
Okay, oh, great.
So it's gonna look lovely. We've got this,
So
we've thought about all these little minutia that we'll be happy to
And then
get
we'll
that
work on,
information.
Setup time, that they set up Friday so that they can be at the VIP thing Friday night.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, we'll work on that.
Yep,
That's maybe what-
yep. So that's
Pieces.
exactly. So yeah, exactly right. So we were talking, Vice Chair Rutledge and I were saying, okay, now you've seen it all. I've been working, 7 days a week on this. We've done all the legwork, and guess what? Now it's time for the committee to jump in and do some work. So to that end, let me know if there's some aspect of this that really intrigues you that you would like to work on. And if you can come up with your own ideas, we would love to hear them. Can you guys hear me? Member Desart and Member Hart, I'm not sure if he's still there. And hello, Beth. It's good to see you. So if you have ideas that you would really like to jump in on, or I want to really focus in on the visual art, the music, the amateur, the karaoke, whatever your cup of tea is, the decorations, let us know. If you're looking for ideas, I think what I really like from every committee member is to go into your district and bring us either one arts group from your district. It could be from a school, it could be a dance company, it could be a theater, something from your district, and make sure that they're aware of this or if they're interested in being involved. Also, if everyone on this board and the committee can do some research and find one food truck, that would be fantastic. We are not limiting the food trucks to DuPage County, so it can come from anywhere. And it doesn't, it can be there for a portion, half a day on Saturday, great, be there. All day, both days, fantastic. Exactly, but because we're hoping, and we're going to be selling like a weekend pass. So the hope is people come for both days because there's going to be obviously different performances. But this is where now we can start delegating and really everyone chipping in. Okay, yes,
Can I
Jim.
talk about the talent show just for a moment?
Yes, please do.
Another thing that we would like to do, obviously without having a fair, most of the fairs in the state are going forward. One of the big parts of our fair is a talent show. And that's again, inviting children all the way up to 21 years old to come and perform at a talent show. They win the opportunity. We give out cash prizes again for that event, but they also win the opportunity to compete at the state level against all the other winners from all the other county fairs. For the past 5 years, DuPage County has had, our participants have been in the top 5, both in the junior division and in the senior division. And out of those 5 years, we've had 2 first place finishes at the state level out of DuPage. So that's something that we would like to still bring and have the opportunity to do that here as part of this program, Fine Arts Festival. The performances are musical instruments, singers, dancers. Some of the people do show tunes. You know, it's a variety. So there's a wide variety of talents that are on display. Some are groups, some are dance groups, some are duets. You know, there's different ways to do it, but it's something that we would like to bring from the fair to keep that going. And I think it kind of fits into what we're doing here. So we would just look for a window on one of the stages when we get to scheduling to be able to have that here. Brings a lot of parents, relatives, grandparents, aunts and uncles to come and see the kids perform as well. So it's just something that I put out there and I asked if that could be considered to be part of this festival.
Yeah. Yes, Member Selman.
Do you think that the people who would attend the talent event and the karaoke are similar groups? So it makes sense.
No,
No, you think they're
No.
different groups?
No.
Okay.
could be crossover, but no, that'd be 2 separate,
Would you want those on separate nights then?
probably,
Ideally?
yeah, ideally separate times.
Yeah, and they'll be during the day because of the kids.
Yeah.
So it'll be sometime in the afternoon is what we were thinking. So that's way we can still keep that thread of the county fair and paying homage, obviously, to the fairgrounds. So this is a way we can really combine forces. Yes,
I was
Vice
just
Chair
gonna add
Rutledge.
to the list of things that people can bring from their district. If
Yes.
you know of a business. You know, now that we're really starting to flush this out, if there are businesses in your district that you think could be sponsored. You know, pass that on to Amy and Lynn, because that would be, a very,
Yeah. Appreciate
we're
it.
gonna really
Yes.
be working that in.
Yes. Yes. So if everyone can do that, think of possible sponsors or donors in your district. Also bring that. That's a great idea. Yes,
And then I
Debbie.
had a question in terms of sponsorships. Do you have any kind of sponsorship package? that
So
you
we're
could-
meeting tomorrow and we're going to they're doing a presentation of all of the sponsorship. Like I emailed that to you last week. I think that we're working on that and we're going to get the logo and the branding and we're having
Yeah, I
that
thought we were
meeting
gonna have it
tomorrow.
by this week. My question is, we have to get something to Barb so she can present it, because she's going on vacation for 2 weeks, and we want to present it to the foundation.
Yes, Member Selman, did you have a question?
I did, but then I forgot. I'll come back.
Okay.
One of the things we talked about sponsorship, that the sponsors, if they chose to, they would have a presence on the fairground. So that's when I was talking about possibly a 10 by 10 or a 15 by 15 tent in different areas that we would have people going to. Your sponsors would be in those particular areas, so they would have the opportunity to greet your guests, talk to your guests, and talk about their businesses or their event or their activities that they're bringing.
Yeah, so every organization that I've been talking with, they are going to set something up. For example, let's use the MAC as an example, since, you know, they're going to do those and they're going to bring all the supply, the paint and the banners for the murals. There, I told them, set up, make sure that people can buy tickets for your upcoming season. They can get all the materials to know what's coming up. And also to bring any leftover merchandise from the Frida exhibit, because their gifts shops have just been doing, you know, gangbusters. And so they can bring that here. Let's see, the Community School of the Arts from Wheaton College, and they're going to be doing a workshop for kids. They're going to bring pamphlets. This is how you sign up. This is how you enroll your children in music lessons. This is where we're located. So what we're trying to do is shine a light on every organization that's participating and really shine a light on all of the different arts organizations within the county and get people interested, involved. This is how they get to know what's coming up, what to attend, where to donate. and how to get more involved. So we're definitely, Jim's idea was to sort of stagger those throughout so that, to his point about keeping the audience moving, they can go and be gathering information throughout the fairgrounds. And that will be a real help for these organizations. Let's see, any other questions? Yes.
Two questions. Where are the food trucks? Are they by the wine tents, the wine and beer tents?
They're both in front of the horseshoe and then in the grass area behind the trellis. And that's where we have both water and electric so that they can be accommodated and meet all the health department requirements.
Okay, and how many are you looking for? You know?
It's gonna, I would say 10 would be probably a good number for what we're projecting for attendance.
Okay.
Um,
Do we have any
That-
booked yet?
We're
We-
looking into all of that and we're looking into food vendors, but we would love your help. Would you like to help and
Yeah, I'll help
and-
also.
Yeah,
We've had
maybe
some
you
at the
could-
Lights of Lyle Festival and things like that, so I know that I might have somebody who.
Great, then you're our person. We're gonna
Okay.
put you as the point guard for that.
Okay.
Okay, Sheila's been doing a lot of that, Jim's been doing a lot of that, and I have some numbers to give to you.
Okay.
So you can be that point
I'll be
person.
that person.
Awesome.
What was the other question I had? No, I just forgot because I'm that person.
Ah,
It'll come back to me one of the next.
okay. Yes,
One more
Debbie.
question, sorry. How are we doing on the website?
It launched today.
Yay.
We launched
So
it this
talk
morning.
to me then about-
So we got some
The
stuff to
fine
add on and
arts, the fine arts?
Does
No,
someone have a question
our
up
new
there?
website for the
Oh,
fairgrounds,
okay.
but we're making that is the fine arts will be on there as part of it. That's where the sign up will take place.
Oh, you're putting it up there.
Yeah.
Good idea.
Okay, and I guess, sorry to interrupt.
No, I'm not.
So I haven't seen this event on your calendar yet. Is it going to be put on the calendar?
It's, the calendar's changing right now as it just
Right
got
now as we
launched.
speak?
It just got
Fantastic.
launched. so
Okay.
It's
So I
on the
guess
new one.
that's my next question, and maybe we're to that point, the marketing, when will that begin? I mean, I need a little more information, like my questions coming back to my head now. For when I do try to talk to the food trucks, exactly, what all the information is, exactly what the time is. I know we've got most
So
of
we
it
just
here.
told you the
I know I've
times,
got
right?
most of
And
it
the,
right
yeah.
here. But I mean, in terms of like, if I were to talk with sponsorship, let's say
Mhm.
also, I'm not saying I'm gonna be that way person also, but if I were to do that also, I mean, I just need to know, exactly how much you're looking for, what they would get out of it exactly. So I guess a little more information.
Yes,
Yeah.
Member Chavez is going to answer those
So, yeah, and
questions
it's
for
okay,
you.
just because I was at a part of the meeting with the Macklin Group that I work with Choose DuPage under Economic Development, and they
Okay.
are taking this on. And
Mhm.
of course, it's
Okay.
a big job. This is the inaugural year that we're doing it, so a lot of stuff had to be made from scratch.
Okay.
But we're meeting with them tomorrow. So we hope at that point there may be a few fine tunes to that sponsorship deck, to those sponsorship levels, to what the marketing plan looks like. It'll be fine tuning, but then
Okay.
we'll be able to lay it out to everyone. As long as tomorrow goes really well, I think we can get it in your hands quickly. I don't want to commit, but just know that we've got an amazing group behind
Mm-hmm.
it. We're, Greg Betelov, couldn't say any more good things about the Macklin Group. So I know we've got the pros at work.
Yep,
And so as soon as we get it, I think there'll be a few minor tweaks, and then I know that's what you guys need, and there's no doubt we're gonna get it to you super fast.
That's the packet with the sponsorship.
you got it.
The
levels,
The levels,
layouts,
yeah,
so
you
that's
got it.
fantastic.
All the
Talking-
publicity and the
Something to
marketing.
hand to
Yeah,
people when
and
Right.
they're
the-
talking with
and
them.
the
Yeah, it's
talking
coming.
points, how you're gonna sell this, what the artists really need to know. So
Okay.
we're this close, and I know
Mhm.
that's what you guys really need, but we're this close.
And we are working on in our office, the application for the food truck vendors and the artist application
Okay.
and all the
Good.
requirements that will be needed and the price points for them.
Okay,
So
good.
I can coordinate that with you. What we're waiting on is the logo and stuff to
Yeah.
add
Yeah.
to the backup of that.
And
so that it
it's-
all
And it's
blends
so
Yeah.
close. I
Yeah,
know.
so this is,
So that all blends
Tomorrow's
together.
meeting.
yeah,
So
yeah,
once all that comes together, then it's gonna be able to be pushed out and go.
yeah.
So that's all.
So everything is already like way in motion, and like I said, we're having our meeting tomorrow. So, yep. Anyone else? Any other questions? Anyone online?
You just send the link to us as a follow-up. Lynn,
Sure.
sorry, Chairwoman, if we could send the link to like,
Uh-huh.
just where it is so we could approve.
Sure, absolutely. We'll definitely do that. We'll make sure and get everyone a copy of the link. Anyone else? Any questions?
When's our next meeting?
Our next meeting is going to be 2 weeks from today is what we just, I saw that, Mark. Thank you. That's is that, what was that? Yeah, that's delicious. Okay. At first I thought you were talking about the gentleman behind you. Let me just pull that up. It said Cranky, the name of it was Cranky Mike's Popcorn. And I was like, wow. Okay, so that's Tuesday, the 3rd, August 3rd. That's when our next meeting is. And I'm going to just be keeping, we're going to keep rolling every 2 weeks and lots of emails and communication in between. And if we need a special call, we'll do that, right?
One more question.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
In terms of a budget, I know we're still working on it, I believe, because everything's still in flux, right? Or
No, we've already done the budget.
We have a budget, but that budget changes with any event. As an event grows or you're adding expenses, and you're also, so you gotta, that will change.
Right.
So like the tents and stuff. So that was one of the questions that I wanted to ask everybody. I kind of talked about where stages and locations and tents. Is everybody okay with that? Because that's part of the budget, and that's where we got to tweak stages, what types of stages, the size of stages, which I'll talk to Mark about more. But is everybody good with the 3-stage concept and how it flowed down there? Are you good with the tents over the beer tent area and the food court area? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Are we good with a sponsorship tents for people? We'll build that into the sponsorship price, so that, the cost that will be there.
Mhm.
What about the garden area, the big grass in the garden area? Any
Yes.
need for anything additional out there? We had talked about possibly a tent by the wine thing. We've talked about that as a photo op spot. We've talked about different things, but any other ideas of tenting areas that might be more comfortable than, different uses that we need things to put in? That's what we need to know so we can tune those in.
Mhm.
You had mentioned doing lights over.
Correct.
I love that.
I think it would be
Yeah.
very
That
cool.
with the garden,
That'll be gorgeous.
Yeah, I
especially
think-
whoever we do.
Right.
yeah, we could do some cool stuff with decorations with that.
And as
Just to
long
give
as
you an
there's-
idea on tenting, this event that's taking place down here, we started off with 2 tents. That's what they had. So we had a $4,000 budget for tents. The committee got together. We finalized the tent contract today, $10,900. That's how it grew.
Mhm.
We put new tents up, because everybody had different ideas. And that's what happens in events. So that's what I need to nail down so that from a budgeting side, we can start tuning in the stages. We have a rider from Ides of March. We know what that sound system is going to be. We know, I think we've got an answer to that already. We have to make sure that every other stage, sound equipment is going to work for the bands that are on that stage, and that it all blends together. And that those stages will be adequate. So then we can tune in and hopefully narrow that budget down maybe a little bit. Maybe it grows a little bit depending upon what's there. And so it's always in flux.
Yeah, and I realize that. I guess my concern is with weather. What are we planning in terms of the garden area? If it were to rain or something like that, do we have a bigger tent there just so people can sit out there? Or is it just,
That's the questions we need to roll the dice. on.
that's what my concern
Yeah.
is.
So
There's still a lot
there's-
of people that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lawn area.
So there's going to be, for what Jim just explained, there will be tents and places to go underneath.
Okay.
But, this is what an outdoor event is like. This is what you deal with the
Right.
fair every single year.
Okay.
And obviously all the stages are going to be covered so that there's no one, we're not worried about anyone's instruments. That's like the number one concern, and that the performers are safe. Jim can
And
speak
just
to
so that everybody knows, when you have an event on the ground of this size, there's emergency action plan, and it's in place. We
Okay.
work with the Homeland Security, we work with Wheaton Fire, we contact National Weather Service, they pinpoint us on the map, so they're watching our event, we're on there, we get notification. If severe weather, anything's gonna come, I am very quick to cancel and leave the fairgrounds to get people out. I'm not one to let sit it out. If we have a problem coming, I'd rather people leave the grounds, evacuate, and come back later. We've had that experience here on the fairgrounds. When you're dealing with an outdoor event, the main thing is to make sure people are safe. About 7, 8 years ago, we had a major event that was coming. It's coming at about 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. We were scheduled to be open at 11. At 8:30, we shut down the fairgrounds and had everybody off the grounds by 9 o'clock. The next day, we had many phone calls calling to thank us, not only for getting them off the fairgrounds, but getting them home before they had to deal with that event
Right.
outside on the road. So to me, that's always a good way to do this. And so when you have an outdoor event, you have to have that stuff in place. We also have emergency plan for any kind of incident. You will see that we have AED devices across the fairgrounds. We'll place them down below during that event. We have either an ambulance with the city of Wheaton. We'll have that type of support and help available. We've worked with Northwestern Hospital. They've done a nurses station for us at some of our events. I haven't spoken to them yet about this event. They may want to become a sponsor and help us out with that. We have CERT, Milton Township CERT. They are already been agreed to come and operate our gates. So they'll be watching the gates and they will actually be walking around as a security force. They are radioed. We are all connected so they can contact staff, fairground staff. So fairground staff will also be on ground. Our fair board will take the lead on beverage sales. Everybody who we qualified for beverage sales has been BASSET trained and has passed the certification program through the city of Wheaton, and they know the rules. And we do follow the rules. We make sure we're a safe, good event at all times. So just so you know, those things are all part of any event on our grounds. So. But if it rains, it's gonna rain.
Yeah, that's life. C'est la vie. C'est la vie.
I have talked about this. I've been watching other people here. Photography. Yeah. And September is probably the most. When we get into October, it gets a lot more. That was my.
Exactly.
My first suggestion.
Yeah,
Don't
yeah.
do it in October.
Yeah, Sheila really pushed for this with her years of experience. So thank you everyone for this field trip. Can we also show a real appreciation for the staff who did this? This is a huge deal. Thank you, Wendy. Thank you, everyone. Yeah, thanks for making this happen. We really appreciate it. And okay, we covered agreements. Any old business? Okay, seeing none. Any new business? We just talked about all the new business, didn't we? Okay, then I'm going to make a motion to adjourn. And great. And do we need just a show of roll call? Voice call is fine. Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, everyone. We'll be in touch.